My goodness, I'm not sure if I've seen somebody that's been aged as badly as Miguel Berchelt. Oh my gosh.
The game plan for what's the guy name?
Jeremiah Nakatila.
That was the opponent?
Yeah.
I feel like that does not say that. Oh, his game plan was to knock.
Silent.
Oh, okay. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
His game plan was to knock him the hell out from the bell, and he did not respect him at all, man.
Yeah, Berchelt went from, and I was just wrong last week. I was kind of like, what did Nakatila do against Shakur that wanted him to bring back? And he landed some serious right hands. He knocked him down with the jab, but Berchelt went from throwing like 70 punches around, and he was throwing like 30 yesterday.
I think maybe the 6 rounds he turned it up, and he probably won that round.
There was a round. I think it was the fifth and the sixth where I was like,
here we go.
Here he goes. Maybe. And then it was like, nope, never mind.
He was eating 2 shots to land 1 in that round.
That big shot really did that much damage.
Yeah. Well, that whole fight versus Valdez, he got punished. And then obviously the knockout was...
No, it was one of the scariest
culmination of it.
beatings I'd seen ringside. And heading into the fight, I asked Berchelt, how are you going to be able to be this same nonstop, offensive, relentless fighter coming back from a knockout like that? Because usually guys that get knocked out in that fashion, they don't come back the same. They don't come back. They're a little gun shy. Yeah. Even the only guy I've seen recover the best from a knockout like that was probably Pacquiao.
I was going to say Pacquiao is the one that comes to mind.
Yeah. And even him, you would, not quite the guy before that knockout, but
for sure.
He was just languishing on the outside, which was no man's land against Nakatila. Nakatila, I think, was very happy to be punching at a target not named Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah. He would not get his head off the line at all. His head was just right there for the hitting.
I think Timothy
move your damn head.
Literally said at some point, like, move your head, like, because it was just
that's how he's always been.
And he was in a perfect.
He reminded me of.
Go ahead. All right, he was in a perfect area to take punches. He should have smothered the punches at least. Yeah. Do something since he doesn't. His defense look horrible.
Yeah, legs were gone.
Just.
You said it reminded you of who? SP?
Reminded me of Soto Carras. From the standpoint of he's all heart, going to stand there and wants to win, but it like you said, Carson, it's like he aged overnight. It was like you went from being a great puncher with upwards to 70 punches per round to where's your offense? And then with no offense and no defense, and I don't mean to knock Soto Carras. Soto was very exciting until he started to get hit too much, and it was like fight after fight after that was like, hey, this is who Soto Carras is now. And that's what I saw last night.
At some point, you've been through too many wars.
Yeah, no, it's a great stoppage because
he absolutely shout out to Russell Mora. Yeah, he was like, we're good.
He was taking a punishment that round, man.
No need for it.
You're dealing with a guy who in his last fight, he doesn't remember anything after the 4th round. Oh, he didn't know he lost the fight until his girl told him in the ambulance. So this kind of like when we lost Maxime Dadashev, there's certain fighters who will, on instinct, continue to fight when they're concussed. They don't even know they're
just on autopilot.
Right. Yeah. So you got to save a guy like that from himself.
Absolutely.
And Berchelt, I think also the size played a factor at 130 pounds. He was so much bigger than everybody when he was sucked down to that weight. Mm-hmm. Nakatila looked a lot healthier at 35. Mm-hmm. He's a tall guy. So this reflect really good on Shakur Stevenson. More than anything else.
Yeah.
And then one thing I love Nakatila kept doing. He would miss over the top with a 1-2, and he kept finishing to the body. Usually don't see that from a tall, long guy like that, but it was. I just loved how he kept doing it.
And he was hurting him to the body.
Right.
Yeah, you would see him drop his hands like, damn. At times.
And not that all of a sudden Nakatila is this, contender, but I still don't I don't hate him against some of the guys. Like Shakur Stevenson
just levels above.
He's going to give everyone
same thing.
He kind of replaces Nakatani as the tall, tough guy in the division.
The Nakas.
Yeah, clearly.
Nakatila, Oh, my God.
Why was you so impressed by that?
I don't know, because what's the chances? What's the chances?
But yeah, he can.
They got the first 5 letters in common.
And he can clearly punch, but yeah, Berchelt.
That did it for me.
It was a ghost of the Miguel Berchelt we've seen for years.
Yeah,
like he was one of the top punch outputs in boxing, and then yesterday,
hopefully, he
said he doesn't want to. He said he's gonna keep going.
Oh no!
I can have to respect that.
Yeah,
today. I'm not getting in there, but it's tough. Like, please. It's not going to get better from here. It's just going to get worse.
Because he's almost a great name and he's beatable for a build a guy up, coming up a killer.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think he should retire, but I don't know. We'll see what he ends up doing. But
Let me say this real quick because I know we talk a lot. It seems like we talk a little bit more, I think personally, about retirement than a lot of people do when it comes to fighters when they have hard fights and stuff like that. But I want to also, along with setting the tone, I want to set the stage. I want to make it understood here that what we see inside of the ring is going to affect you outside of the ring. So if we're watching this guy that used to have one of the highest outputs in boxing and now has now I'm not going to say he has one of the smallest, but it's not even half of what it used to be. I hate that this is even about to come out of my mouth right now, but I just heard myself say it in my head. You're half the person that you are in the ring, which means, like, listen, like, eventually you're going to be half the person outside of the ring. Like, that hurts for me to even say that right now. So while we're saying that guy needs to retire, like, I don't want anybody to look at us like we can't take it. We can't. I know Ann said earlier, I don't like watching my friends fight. Like, it is what it is, because you know the repercussions of a bad night. You're blessed in the sense that you haven't seen your best friends, your great friends have a bad night, or not the worst night. But literally, this guy literally could end up being half of who he is outside of the ring if we see him producing half of what he used to produce inside of the ring. It's inevitable that happens to you outside of the ring. Guess what? A guy in the UFC, he has gone into the ring, the octagon, X amount of times, whatever it's called, pentagon, hexagon, and his ears are good. He gets out of the ring one day, he's got a cauliflower ear in the ring. Guess what? Outside of the ring, he's gonna live a normal life with cauliflower ear. This shit is serious. And I want the people that push the buttons to start understanding that it's that serious, that when we can see that a guy is only half of who he is inside of the ring, let's tell this guy that, hey, we understand that this is what you love to do. We understand that this is all you've wanted your entire life. Let's start figuring something else out, because we don't want you to be only half yourself outside of the ring.
And he's also to close on Berchelt, he's also not a... there's different aging for different players and boxers and anything. Like, if there's somebody who, was a dunker, or Vince Carter, best dunker of all time in game, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Towards the end of his career, he turns into a jump shooter. Yeah. But in boxing, like, Berchelt wasn't a defensive fighter, so he's not going to be able to rely on his defensive instincts. And the aging process might be a little easier, not a little less extreme. He's not that. He's an offensive fighter. And even after the fight, I'm a warrior. I'm still going to do this. So he's not like, all right, I have to adjust a little bit. He's gun shy offensively, but his defense isn't there to kind of...
His offense was his defense at his best.
100%. So. He just overwhelmed people.
And it's damn near for, 20, 30 years, y'all literally, boxers have to turn their mental... They're not just a regular person. They fear no one. Yeah. You guys are warriors for 20 to 30 years. So now I got to immediately turn that off? Yeah. It ain't that easy, man.
And he still wanted to rock yesterday, like after the stoppage. And I was like, Russell Moore, again, good job, because there was no reason for him to go back out there get punished anymore.
What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ed. Follow me on IG, Ed with 2 T's. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
All right. Just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then you tell them what to do. I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brenagh.
Carson Merk. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porter Way.